Okay, that was Therese cooking for us quinoa rice and something something. I know it's something something. I didn't want to enter into the details. And right now we are receiving. Let me give the titles. He is a goodwill ambassador of the WHP, which means a wholesome health promotion. He is a presenter of Canada. Why did they show him? Who asked Patrick to show him? He is the he is a TV presenter. He is an MC. Ever smiling, dimple looking. So Steve.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
It's always a pleasure sitting beside you, right?
It's always a pleasure meeting you, be it on your TV set and out of your office. Yes. And I'm so happy. I think this is the first time I'm being interviewed by you.
I'm receiving my boss.
Listen, it's always a wonderful opportunity. Remember, I told you opportunity comes knocking at the door, but what you need is to be prepared all the time, because when preparation meets opportunity, it's time for manifestation.
Yes.
So pretty much, I'm so happy to be on this set once again. I love it so much, and I miss it so much.
Okay, today we're not here today to talk about Steve being a daddy to me. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the WHP.
Yeah.
That is a US-based non-for-profit organization.
Absolutely.
And the CEO and founder of this is no other person but the person who's cooking for us every morning.
Yes, TERESE. What a wonderful being she is.
Yes.
And she's always ready to stretch her arm to reach out to other people, especially those who are in need of, be it knowledge or be it something tangible.
Wow, and you're the goodwill ambassador.
Absolutely. I had the honor to be appointed as the goodwill ambassador for WHP. This young non-for-profit organization that has decided to educate Cameroonians and those in kind of remote areas, marginalized societies or maybe communities, underprivileged communities, on how to live a healthy life, because we know that a healthy mind lives in a healthy body.
Yes.
And for the mind to be healthy, the body has to be healthy as well. So it's kind of a full package. And so we have decided at WHP to educate people on how to live a healthy life. A healthy life will also mean that you watch out on the sanitary conditions of the food you eat, from the farm to the plate. So we definitely bring them some know-how and how they could do it with the cheapest, means they possess at the moment, because they'll be like, we don't have all the means to maybe to control what's been planted, whether it's been planted with chemicals or not, and all that, the pesticides and all the things that come along the way. So I think we're trying to tell everyone that if we are responsible, if we have a little bit of love towards one another, if we consider that we are one another's keeper, it's going to help us to curb some of these malpractices that we actually instigate by ourselves, because probably we are motivated by making extra profit. We just look at the money and forgo human life. We're just trying to make people understand that we have a role to play to save the community. Just to give you a detail to tell you why we decided to do that. I think TERESE TANDE, after doing this cooking with TERESE, how to eat healthy, because people eat but they probably do not eat healthy, and that's why she says eating healthy doesn't have to be boring. After that, she was like, because she also does fitness, and she works out a lot to keep her shape, because it's very important for your cardiac activity and all that. So she works out a lot. So she came up to that point where she said, but why not bring out put out this humanitarian arm that can permit me to reach out to underprivileged. And she was like, when she stumbled on these statistics, medical statistics, that like millions of people die just because of foodborne diseases. It means that the food was contaminated somehow by dirt and all that, so they protract illnesses that lead them to their early graves. So it means that we can save millions of lives just by healthy, eating, just by controlling, what we eat and making sure that everything is clean and our surroundings and even us, so just hygiene can save millions of lives.
Millions of lives. So that is what a WHP is all about and its
Absolutely.
mission,
So
what
we
it
do
is
that,
about.
provide knowledge, but as well also meet the needs of some communities and teach them to be the change they want to see, because it's very easy when you expect change coming from some other person. That kind of change wouldn't last because the person would have been patient on you like eternally. The best moment is when you have that autonomy, that empowerment. We empower them with knowledge and skills. That's why in our program, we also intend to bring experts like we did a couple of, like last year.
Last year, it was last year.
We had
several.
several.
She was here last year.
Yeah,
Actually.
we had several, workshops that we organized. The first edition of, or the first program we actually organized to kickstart the organization was in Boya. It was a fabulous turnover, and we even had some people who joined us who were doing organic, who grew organic food. You understand? So they encourage people to eat organic, and it's very healthy, and it makes your lifespan, to increase, because the more you neglect your body, you reduce your lifespan, scientifically. Okay. So we also had people who joined us later on. And we also had another workshop in Idinau. That was a fantastic one that we even had our documentary run on Canal de English. Yeah. Then this year, in the beginning, we actually went to I think it's the Bokwango Integrated Health Center. And we actually were astonished by the realities we met there. So we tried as much as possible to assist them, and definitely that's what we're about to do today as well in the Southwest region, in Bonakanda and another remote community there in the Southwest.
Okay, so let's talk about today's donations in the Southwest. That is, how is it going to be divided, separated, or shared around? Because you can't move in the Southwest in just you alone.
Absolutely, we have chiefs and local authorities who will be accompanying us. Given the precarious situation in the Southwest and Northwest regions at the moment. In spite of that, we said we wouldn't fold our arms and say that because things are this way, there is insecurity as well, and we would not go and reach out to people. People still have needs. I think this is even the time, and if there's insecurity, it's not like people can walk in Boya. That's the false image people give about the Northwest and the Southwest region. I spoke to someone yesterday who was in Douala. I was like, as Cameroon is in the state of war. Honestly speaking, if that was the case, like, people wouldn't have been moving around town. Would maybe they give the impression that there are bomb shells, dropping here and there. Bullets, being fired, here and there. Even though that exists, it happens, but it's not like you can't move on the road. Like, you just sleep on your bed on the floor day in, day out. So we're going there to reach out to people because medical infrastructures have been destroyed as well. And we know that life is treasure. We should treasure our lives. So we're going there, like what we did at the Bokwango Integrated Health Center. We gave them 1,000 gloves because we're astonished to know that gloves there cost 100 francs, and people in that community are unable during consultation to buy their gloves. They lack 100 francs. They lack 100 francs for real. I cried because I asked myself how much we spend in clubs, how much we spend for parties, but people
we spend so much money doing nothing when people are in need.
Some people just need 100 francs CFA.
To save their life, actually. Some
were unable to pay a consultation fee of 500 francs. And some of that particular integrated medical facility, like many others, do not receive constant subventions from the government. How do they function? How do the people there who are highly farmers and all that function, or maybe leave? So it becomes very tedious. So I think many other organizations could also team up like that. We should be our brothers' keepers, and we should be the change we want to see. If we want to see a beautiful Cameroon, healthy, strong, we definitely should.
Help make it look beautiful.
Yeah, we definitely have to put our hands together.
Yeah.
One hand can carry a basin comfortably.
No,
together we can build a stronger nation.
We can make it stronger.
So we'll be going to Bonakanda today, and that we'll start at 11:30. So I'll leave Douala for Boya immediately. So go to Bonakanda, and there's another community, and we're going to give over 1,000 gloves to each of them, so probably more than 2,000 gloves. And they have other particular needs that we actually will not disclose here, but we went to them and they told us about the needs, and so we'll also go there and support them. And we have other programs we're going to organize in the course of the year. This is the second half of the year we're kicking off. We kicked off the first half of the year, with the donation, and we also want to kick off the second part of the year, the donation, and then follow up these people and see what it gives.
Wow, I think if all Cameroonians were thinking the way WHP is thinking, Cameroon will really be in a better place for us.
We have an excerpt of even what we did at the Bokwango Integrated Health Center. We have some details that we mentioned in this little report. If you want us to play it.
I was about to ask, and I was even about to say, when you go this time around, don't only bring an excerpt, bring the whole documentary.
Of course, we will also do a kind of discovery for Canal do English of Bonakanda, you know, since we have the chief, we'll talk about it, film the environment,
we need a whole
film the people, go to the
that.
markets and all that.
Of course. So, Patrick, the excerpt, please.
A few weeks later, this time after Christmas and New Year celebrations were over, Wholesome Health Promotion kicked off 2018 by putting a smile on the faces of the Bokwango Integrated Health Center staff with a donation of 1,000 gloves and several packs of mineral water, amongst others. This act of generosity took the chief of center unaware.
As a chief of center, on behalf of the staff, I want to take this time to thank you people for donating these gloves to us. These gloves will go a long way to help the community, mostly those who are poor. Some come here, they cannot even afford for gloves. With these gloves, we'll be able to attend to them perfectly and at a reduced cost. By so doing, quality health care will be to the community. So I want to take this time to say thank you very much.
The Wholesome Health Promotion team also visited the Bokwango Integrated Health Center facilities that are insufficient for the number of patients received averagely, with only one microscope and one bed sheet per bed, and also the absence of potable water for an average of 225 patients received per month. The Bokwango Integrated Health Center is barely surviving in its mission. However, the good news was announced by the CEO and founder of WHP, TERESE TANDE, who promised a long-term partnership with the hospital in the year 2018.
WHP is a non-for-profit organization that wants to bring change in the rural areas because that's where there is need. We found out this morning that the patients have to buy their gloves in order to receive services. Those are some of the things that the organization wants to help the community. So my selection of this particular location is basically or simply for that reason. We want to come into the rural areas, start in the rural areas. Some of these people may not be aware of some of the illnesses or diseases that they may contaminate if they don't use gloves. Gloves are a need. It's not a want. They are a need. So every facility should have gloves, and patients shouldn't be paying for gloves. So WHP stands to do more donations with simple things or the things that people look at that are small all around the rural communities. And we may be back to this very location. I promise you that.
Thank you very much.
Well, while some people were enjoying what the people were saying, the TERESE and the chief of center, I was busy enjoying the backgrounds. That is Kokombasi.
Kokombasi, yes. You know, it's talking about love, warning everyone that
just it. So
that the most important thing will be what you've done with your life, with the time God is giving you. You know, what is the impact you're creating? It's good to live for yourself, but you're not called to live for yourself. You know, you're called to impact other people, because if God is love and He takes care of you, and He advertises how good a Father He is, you know, by taking care of you, then of course He does not take care of you for you to be you and without sharing with others.
Okay.
It's time for you to impact others, yeah.
Okay. So today, yes, Steve, today is a Global Day of Parents.
Yeah.
There are some days that are given up by the UN that we usually neglect because we don't think they are very important. But for me, this is one of the most important days.
It's one of the most important days.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we had the African Day that many people didn't celebrate. I think in Africa it should be that day when we celebrate
ourselves.
You know, ourselves, celebrate what African values are. Today we have the American dream and all that. We should have the African dream. Let Africa be seen as a whole, even a country. I even like it because people think it's pejorative, but I think if we have as sons of the same heartbeat, the same motherland, you know, same mother continent, we should have the same, like almost a global vision for Africa. Yes. That's the only way through which Pan-Africanism can actually hold its grip. Because politicians will think that, you know, the best colonization is political. It's not, because whatever has been political has mostly been through force. You know, the best colonization is cultural, and if at all we have a lifestyle, a moral standard, we have this global culture that that we believe in, is definitely going to be something powerful. Same thing for Parents' Day, you know, Global Day of the Parents.
Global Day of Parents, and it's celebrated every 1st of June. You
know, do you know something is one thing is wonderful is that when you look at, you know, biblical study, you know, or every spiritual you know, book and stuff, a powerful society is created, you know, is based on a powerful family.
Yeah, powerful family.
You know, if a family is well raised, then you can have guarantee that you have a great society and great leaders and all that. And how does it come from a great marriage as well, and a great relationship? So if everything is wrong in the relationship and in the marriage, everything will be wrong with the family, and everything will be wrong in the society and so on. That's why we have a lot of irresponsible leaders today. People who are unable to make decisions honestly, and people who, when they get to power, you know, they definitely shut their mouths and start, you know, and change the side of their coats. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And show us the other flip side of the coin. So I think it's all about, you know, the parents, celebrating the parents, especially those who educate their children properly, you know, and make sure that the society becomes a, you know,
better place.
A quality.
And that says, Steve, you have so many parents. You know, parents are not only those who put birth to you. You have your uncles, your aunts that supported you. You know,
so there are two definitions of parents that I know. One, the biological parents, those who actually, you know, the progenitors, right?
Those who actually...
Yeah. Then parents are those who infuse their mindsets through the children. You know, it could be a guardian who becomes a parent because he has educated you, he has infused his mindset to the point that when you speak, you resonate like his nature. They'll be like, wow, I mean, you sound like, you behave like you're the true son of this person. That's how you see a parent as well. So some parents don't look like their children don't look like them. It means that they probably did not pass on that
There's
thing.
something wrong somewhere.
So, like you said, I have so many parents, and I would like to acknowledge my biological parents first. My mom is in the grave. She's actually resting in peace, and I know her soul, she's resting in heaven. And she's resting in paradise, R.I.P. rest in paradise. And that was, I remember it was pretty much in November 2001 that she left us.
Wow.
But she decided to go to the world beyond with where she sits she sits with Father God, and she's enjoying life. Now, my dad is alive. I thank God for him. He is in Bonaberry. I thank God for him. So I think today I have to do a little surprise to my dad.
That is just it.
And yeah, he's a very handsome man. Even in his 70s, you know, he's like a late 70s.
So you mean to talk over your father?
When he dresses up, he's like, I will, like, this is Fat Fam, this is Tommy Hilfiger, you know what I'm talking about? So I like my dad. I like my dad. I love him so much. Yeah. Then I also have to acknowledge Dr. Sean Smith and Dr. Annie Smith. You know, the man I've become today is also because of them. I have so many people that I would thank. My mother's friends, my sister, who has become my mother when my mother left the world. She sacrificed her education and everything. She is my mom, you know, Titi Jacqueline, I love you so much, and so on. But Dr. Sean Smith and Dr. Annie Smith, I really thank you guys. And to all of you who've been a mother figure to me, that's it.
Yeah, in that light, I have to let my own daddy to go.
Absolutely.
I would have loved to keep him here.
I have to rush the boy at the same time.
For old time's sake. But he told me he has to go to Boya. He has to go and donate. He has to go work. He has to go and do his.
You know, when you have a
video.
rendezvous with the chiefs, you don't go late.
Yeah, are you no matter if you're going late? It's not good though. Anyway, we're going to take a musical break to usher Sir Steve out.
Thank you
And,
so much.
And let's say, funnily, the title of the song is "Without My Heart."
Wait, before we go for the musical break, I would like to say something. If you want to join, us in our projects WHP, or give a contribution, because you know what, it's never too small what you can contribute. You know, you go to our Facebook page, Wholesome Health Promotion, that is WHP Wholesome Health Promotions, and you would see every information there on how you can donate, you know, and you can also go there to find the contact numbers and the email addresses. Join us as we impact our communities. We are giving back to our communities. Thank you to TERESE TANDE, the mother of this particular organization, CEO and founder, and thank you to Ayuk Eta, the chief of operations as well. Thank you guys for being our mother and our fathers, TERESE TANDE and Ayuk Eta. That you see, handsome people, mama and papa, that's how we call them. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we are leaving you, we are ushering Sir Steve out with a heavy heart. Tiwa Savage and Don Jazzy.
Hey, I love that song.